The dark side of competitive Valorant. Let's check it out.
Tier 2 Valorant scene has been corrupted, rotten to the core. Underground
I think we're gonna 1.5 or 1.25 this one.
gambling rings targeting vulnerable, inexperienced, desperate players to throw matches and to cheat. They're offering sometimes literal children, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, life-changing money, tens of thousands of dollars for a single game, just to throw a single game. While these people are also profiting hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Isn't this also like betting? Isn't this like, isn't this go along with our theme that we talked about like betting as well?
Depending on how long this has gone on for or how far it truly extends, it's likely to be millions by this point. This is literally the kind of scandal that could kill competitive gaming in Valorant. It started when I investigated 2 people. Let's zoom out for a quick second. For those of you who don't follow professional competitive Valorant, you might be wondering, what even is Tier 2 Valorant? We'll start with Tier 1, right? This is VCT, the professional leagues.
Yep.
And we've got a few of those, right? We have VCT China, Pacific, EMEA for Europe. We have VCT Americas, which encompasses, all of NA, LATAM, and Brazil. Now, Tier 2 is challengers, and it is possible to make it into VCT from Tier 2. I mean, it's possible to even do it from Premier within the game. You and your friends could, grind through Premier, end up in a qualification game for challengers. I mean, this has literally happened multiple times in the last year. It's an amazing system for bringing up players. Once you're in Tier 2, the goal is to make the Ascension tournament. And just like the name suggests, the whole purpose is to ascend up into VCT. However, it's only 1 team per year in the entire region of Americas, not even just North America. So we're talking challenger leagues that are running simultaneously in North America, LATAM, and Brazil. From that, 2 teams from each of those will meet into the Ascension tournament. So zooming in, you can see Tier 1, Tier 2, the teams and the players in Tier 2, and their DMs. Let's get back to the investigation of those 2 people.
I'm at 1.5 it.
This is my good old friend Bray, aka one of one Bray, aka Bray on chain. He is the guy that's reaching out to everyone, and this right here, this is what his Twitter looked like. Well, at least for last week. Before he deleted a lot of the incriminating evidence, he follows pretty much everyone in the Tier 2 scene. You can only see about 50 people deep. You can even see several that I found that were following back before people started realizing that I was onto this whole thing. These days, you're not going to see any of that, right? It's pretty much all wiped clean. Thanks to some very amazing people that reached out to me, though. Behind the scenes, we actually have evidence of Bray reaching out to at least 4 different players to fix matches. So Teague, who currently plays for Landor, and Practo, who's on Burger Boys, have actually helped me quite a bit in this investigation. And they deserve all the praise in the world for doing that. I'm really hoping the community takes care of these too. I'm working with them actively to craft conversations in their DMs, and these are how our conversations with Bray went. So here you can see, this is how Bray opened up the conversation with Practo, right? Showing and flaunting these Burger Boys bets against Blue Otter. Drops all 3 of the 10 grand bets for a 2-0 for Burger Boys to beat Blue Otter, and says, "Thank you, Practo. Love you." And then Practo says, jokingly back, "I got you, bro. This time only, though." This is Practo joking completely, by the way, up top. And then that's when Bray takes over and says, "Yo, Practo, you got Discord? Add me, twin. I'm always here. Just saying, you can make a mill at 19. Yo, Teague, let's make 100K each in your next game. What's your Discord? I got 20K for you." Imagine you're one of these young kids who don't have a salary.
Holy shit.
Gym enters. From there, he'll actually take it over to Discord, where you can see Bray starts off, "Sup, G? Landor have any games coming up?" Maybe Challenge is kind of dead at the moment with playoffs starting soon, so we don't have any VCL matches till July. Split 3, July 4, right? What I do is pay Challenger players. For example, I'll send a bet slip real quick. Hold on. So when you have a close game, for example, you're playing a good team, I'll pay you 20K to underperform. 10 before the game and 10 after the game. If the odds are good, I can get you 30 for a game. I don't want to get cut for playing poorly since I did shit last split. But is there any way to do it and win? And Bray says, "We have streamer accounts on multiple sports books. So that's how we can bet 6 figures plus on challenger games." And that's the secret sauce right there. And that's a big takeaway is these streamer accounts on the betting sites are how these guys are capable of even dropping bets this big on challenger games. And Bray says, "Nah, LOL."
Where is the betting going on that's this big though, chat? This is crazy. I didn't know that people like, dude, this goes into the conversation earlier about how fucking crazy all this sports betting stuff is.
To take to Teague's message. But if it's like a close game 50-50, you're playing a good team, it wouldn't look crazy if you had an unlucky game. You feel me? Or just to get Teague one-tapped on their eco round. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like subtle shit. That makes a difference in the round, but not to most watching it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Can bet maps too. So if you play bad for one map, or I just had throw an eco round accidentally on map 1, so you can just shit the bed one map and still win and make money? And Bray says, yes, we should lock in for real. We will speak more about numbers and shit, about maps when odds come out for your games. Everything makes sense now. There were some crazy upsets this split. Motherfuckers were getting their bags. And Bray goes, yeah, bro. Fucking like Prosperity Esports in Burger Boys and shit. Bam. And just like that, 2 of them found. Thank you so much, Bray. Bray, on May 14th, to T. It's ready for you when you want it.
Holy shit.
This guy literally put Teague's wallet and 20 grand ready to send to Teague. And this is what he's constantly enticing you, right? He's not leaving these leads dead. And you can see, yeah, I understand. I work with a few Valorant players at the moment, and this is on May 1st. I hid the team for privacy reasons, but let me know if you want to run up a fucking bag together. And he flaunts this right here bet. Holy shit. The payout for this, $230,100.
Who are making these bets though?
$88.10.
Like, how are these, like, who's paying these bets?
This guy placed a bet, not on the series, but on map 2, when a team was winning 5-3. That's how you read this. So he's going to get 1.72 times what this number is, which is what he staked up. And he's betting at a time of the series where it was 1-0, the second map, and the score was 5-3. And you can see, do you know anyone else that would be interested? I'll cut you in profit, obviously. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that the specific person's doing it. You just have to refer a friend. You get a signing bonus. Everything is anonymous, and you will make minimum 5 figures per game. Please delete messages. Whenever you want to be driving a Lambo, you know the guy to go to. And then he hits him up again on the 19th. I am recording this on the 21st. This guy is still messaging people. And this is regarding the playoffs of North American Challengers.
Wait, this is May 19th.
Even though he knows I know. He knows I know. He literally has a clip talking about me to my players. He's playing ranked to this day on Riot Game servers.
Yo, Paint, how do you feel about the current stage of
Let's end our misery.
I think, honestly, it's in a really bad state.
John Garris thinks the same thing.
But I think I can understand people's reasonings behind what they do. Because it was already in a bad state beforehand.
It's not really helping the community.
He's offering $50,000 for this game. $40,000 guaranteed. $40,000 to lose map 1. And I'm going to bet Burger Boys money line for 20K. Just for fun. Just for fun, though. Just for funsies. When down 1-0. And he does this to change the odds, right? Those live odds, you can bet live in the game. That's how sinister this really is. Let me know ASAP. And Practo responds shortly after. I'm good. Thanks for the offer, though. And you can see as the conversation progresses here, if the players get a little finicky, they get worried. Bray literally tells them, delete all these messages. You don't need to keep this here. Let's move our messages to Telegram. No one's going to catch us there. This is the message that you'll see a lot. Everything's going on is crazy right now. Let's move combos to Telegram. So he's moving everything to Telegram. And this is May 16th, just days after Riot started their investigation. And this is what I was fearful of. The second these guys know that you're onto them, whoop, everything is gone. Nothing is left. No proof of anything. And if you didn't record it.
This reminds me of like, there's like really sus shit that people do deleting Discord DMs. Chat, you guys know what I'm talking about? Because like, isn't the way of deleting Discord DMs is you can delete DMs in Discord and it deletes it for the other person as well. And so people have been doing this where it's like there's been all number of like scandals and accusations about people where it's like people will write something in Discord and then delete it right away. And then you don't even know. Damn.
It's too late. And these people are a little bit scared, right? If I get caught doing this, I'm going to lose my livelihood. You know, I could lose all of this time I sunk in. So if you're worried about getting leaked, just
less than 3.
This encrypted peer-to-peer chat messaging program where, you know, we can talk there about throwing this game and cryptocurrency and how untraceable it could be. You know, it is very difficult to catch this. So just because the Discord messages are empty doesn't mean anything to me, truthfully. I mean, I've seen it back in the IBA Power days where, you know, the players denied it for months and months and months and, you know, dragged the community through the mud. And it wasn't until a leaked text message from an ex-girlfriend where it all came crumbling down. It's hard to believe that a lot of these people just had conversations die out when I see how this guy's treated convos with both Practo and Teague. Just constantly keep going, keep asking, prodding. That's going to bring us into our next part. That's how the conversation.
I mean, I feel like, dude, bless Practo and Teague, these guys for dragging this guy out and basically like exposing all this shit and getting the screenshots.
Goes. But truthfully, people like Bray are also connected to crypto groups. And those groups are connected and run by people like this guy, Cooker Flips. And he is the founder of Pastel Alpha, which is a crypto trading group where they give people suggestions on like what cryptocurrencies to buy. In my experience, I've been in crypto for quite a while. These types of groups lose you money because the people running the groups are the first to buy crypto. And if you buy first and you dump on the guy that buys second, well, that guy's stuck holding your bag and then needs to get someone to buy at a higher price than he bought in. So the people that often start these groups have a lot of purchasing power. They'll buy heavy into the crypto ahead of time at very low.
There it is, chat. There's the logo we know and love. Oh, buddy.
Cost. And then when you come into the group and get the suggestion, they're looking for the chart to bump up. They can then kind of slightly sell off onto you, and then you're left holding the bag. I don't really have insight into their crypto group, but I do know that this guy has made some serious bets on these challenger games. Some serious bets on Burger Boys, of all teams. Wow, that is surprising. And what do you know? They're actually playing Blue Otter. That's the team that Fair plays for. So wow, this is so coincidental. And what do you know? He put 30 grand on this game. Holy moly. And also a 2-0, 30 grand. Must have felt really confident about that one. So looking through what's left of some of the stuff on Cooker's profile, you can see a little bit of how this guy operates, right? What's going to happen here, and what you're going to notice is he actually has some legitimate bets. And what that's all about is, truthfully, he's just washing the money. Think Breaking Bad Walter White, the car wash, right? This guy's trying to take this illegitimate money that is only coming in from Challenger games and make it look like he's also making money on other things. Because if you only made millions of dollars on Challenger games and you didn't also, lose some on coin flippy VCT games that you're just kind of guessing on, well, then it would look really weird. I speculate that he's kind of washing some of this money, but you can see his profit margins have just got insane in some of it. He's just giving money away all of a sudden on Twitter. Everyone's getting giveaways, and this is an expense for him because he's building his brand, actually. So with free money that he's getting from Challenger games. He did bet here on Prosperity, and we do know a thing or two about Prosperity, according to my boy Bray, so that's interesting. They beat our team. You might notice that he has some notable followers, such as Josh RT. And when I saw this, I couldn't believe it, right?
Head coach for G2 Valorant? Uh-oh.
And I was like, why is Josh following this guy? And so I did indeed get Josh in a call, and I am pretty happy to say I'm fairly confident Josh RT is actually very unlucky in this whole thing, right? They basically reached out and they tried to give him free access to the crypto group. They say it's a very expensive service, and they use him as almost kind of like an advertising method. So right here, you can see him, basically flaunting his open DMs on the stream live for everyone to see.
What rank am I in Val? I'm ass. I've been like silver or bronze. I don't play Val, like seriously. I don't have time to play, I don't have time to put any effort into these games anymore. Like, no point.
I mean, silver, bronze, doesn't really fucking matter. This guy is just a savant when it comes to picking NA Challenger games. Coin flippy ones too, on the underdogs. He loves the underdogs. It's like that IQ bell curve. This guy's so far on the left, he's like on the right side with the geniuses. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm getting cooked out here. Why are they betting tens of thousands of dollars on tier 2 Valorant matches when you're bronze and silver? Why? You don't understand the game, and you don't even have time to play. Well, I think we know why.
Holy
Valorant
shit,
used
dude.
to have a lot of money in its peak. At its peak, around like 2020, early quarantine days to 2022, there were so many orgs. And to show that, you can actually go to the subreddit. These are some of the orgs that we've lost since franchising. That is a lot of locos. I am literally getting nerd chills looking at this. These are teams that I co-streamed, I casted when I was a caster, orgs that paid serious salaries and have great backing. As you go on, there's just less and less paying opportunities in this space. And what that does is it creates an absolute vacuum of what these guys just sunk in thousands of hours to get paid for. You learn.
And I don't even think it's just Valorant. I think Valorant, streaming, gaming. Here's my hot take, which low-key I think if you look into it is a lukewarm take. But things like streamers, things like just video game monetization, like gaming in general. I think so many things, Valorant, esports, whatever you want to say, I think so many things suffered from this insane bubble that was COVID around 2020. And they all got so inflated that now everyone's starting to just do grimy things or just clot certain things to try to like maintain that relevancy, that money, whatever the case is, now that we're 5 years past that.
How to be a pro gamer in Valorant, and now there's no money in the scene, and you might miss out on a lot of opportunities in those years that you were doing that. You might have put a relationship on hold, you might have put school on hold, you might have put an important job on hold. You took huge risks thinking that the scene would be what it was, because why wouldn't it at least look somewhat like that, especially with VCT coming around the corner, right? I mean, VCT's only been around for like 2 years, but the presence of VCT and how all those challenger orgs were trying to get to VCT, once they realized the difficulty in challengers of making it, the actual likelihood of that one team that ascends per region, and just the likelihood of your challenger team doing that, holy, it's rough. Obviously, at this tier 2 level, a feeder league, it's a pillar that's required in any kind of sport, right? Think of like collegiate basketball, collegiate football, anything like that. In traditional sports, they all have these type of circuits to feed up into the pro league where people are taken care of in the lower leagues. That is no longer the case in Valorant, and it's created this vacuum. The veterans that got used to that money are now desperate, right? You've created a lifestyle around expecting that kind of income. You might be locked into some kind of apartment lease. You might be living a lifestyle with a partner that you can no longer live at all because you can't even get paid, period. And the young, inexperienced talent, the pros who haven't really learned their lesson, they're the ones being targeted the most. People like Bray now have you by the balls, though. If you throw that one game, if you listen to him, you are then on the hook. I don't know what he's going to ask you to do in the future, but to think that blackmail isn't an option for these guys is very naive. If they're going to run a criminal ring in cryptocurrency on Telegram and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, which they could go to prison for, Why would they not ask you to cheat in a game? They don't care about the game. Cooker doesn't even play the game. He doesn't have time, he says. It doesn't make sense. Bray, at least he plays the game a good bit, right? If you're lucky enough to find him in real ranked matches, look at his tracker. We can go back to, let's see, performance right here. And you can see about when, I don't know, maybe Bray got some aim training or something. Look at this win percentage jump up from mid-30s down here. Episode 7, Act 1. This guy came back, got a 75% win rate. Bro almost tripled his headshot percentage. I mean, if this was my win percentage on Neon, I think I might main Neon, but you do you, Bray. You're doing great out there. But what happens when the odds and the payouts on betting sites are on the other end? And now you have to win. One of you might just cheat. And that's how we come to our boy Fair. And here we have May 13th. Just 2 days before, if you remember, when Bray said things are getting weird and we got to move to Telegram. You might be wondering, how did the guy that reported Fair for cheating end up with a statement for Fair cheating? And that's a good question. Maybe for another day, but you know, it obviously got back to Bray. And you can see right here, I mean, it's just a request to send in information, and Riot earmarked several of the rounds that we will now look at. Buckle up. This is where things get a little bit fun.
Oh, shit.
The common question is going to be, how did I stumble into this? Truthfully, it all started with that loss against Blue Otter. I don't know, it didn't sit well with me when I signed off the co-stream, so I went back that night and I rewatched the VODs. I have rarely in my career, I can't even remember times where I've got out of a game and I thought the other team was cheating in some kind of way. I believe it to be a loser mentality, and it will hinder growth in any kind of competitive sport. So I try not to cope and use these things as excuses, and honestly, I don't think I ever have in my whole career. But this match was different. I was very confident, the coaches were very confident coming into this match, and I'm looking at this and I just couldn't believe it all. Like, this team caught so many timings, and they beat our team who came into this match very, very prepared. Honestly, super prepared for a lot of the stuff Fair ended up doing even. But he just caught immaculate timings across the map, took space in ways that I've never seen anyone take space while using zero utility. So that's when I decided, okay, I have to dive into this, Blue Otter game against Burger Boys. What I'm about to show you is bizarre. Now, what you're gonna notice here is Bob over here at Dish, send it. Absolutely send it. I don't know if I've seen anyone do this. She runs it down and drones from this aggressive spot, the stealth drone on tail. Now, this drone is seen by everyone. It sees the Cypher, it sees people in the deep lines. And so you would think that Bob solo Dish and no one around to push would just respect that and let it go. No, not at all. Bob sends it. The gun isn't even out when you look at Bob through the wall. And on your screen, that's Fair. I just watched this one round and I couldn't even believe it. I mean, this looks absurd. Absurd. And so again, at this point, I'm pretty interested. It keeps getting crazier. Round 6. Again, they're just sending it. They're just sending it. Let knife out. Like, what? You're playing against a Breach, Teo, Neon. I mean, this is insane. Why are they not counter-utiling, is what I'm thinking. So, they're just sitting here. I mean, Bob hits some miraculous shots, I'm not going to lie, to get those 2 kills. But then you keep watching.
So is it
and
that
you can see, even though there's a
the Blue Otter team is throwing?
Spotted, or I'm sorry, 2 extra people were spotted Dish. They end up getting that kill on Siku into them. But if you watch Brimstone, watch Zoe Stoll, running with knife out right now. So they get the spike. Running knife out. The gun isn't even out. Now, that is crazy. That's crazy. I'm just baffled at this point. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. And this is when I started to realize I don't even think this is a one-person thing anymore. Bob in A main. I'm not even sure what Bob's doing here. Truthfully, like maybe changing the angle of her jiggle, but there's no support. And they're playing a Neon that could run her down. And I mean, watch how this plays out. I mean, so she chickles out wide, immediately gets stunned, peeks out, dies. This guy peeks out, dies. And, the round's literally just over. This ult is just crazy to me. There's no way that this feels like a good idea. And then the next part of the play is even more wild. So he goes for the Neon, which obviously is just going to run away and live. Even though the Neon had 1 HP, he boombots through the smoke to give away his spot. Now look at where these other 2 players are here. Do you think those players can trade? Do you think those players can do anything? Of course not. Now this is the guy that was insta-killing everyone on my team. It doesn't even look like the same person right now. This looks like the same person took horse tranquilizers. Then we get to round 18. I mean, things are getting a little close, so it would be kind of crazy if they won this round and got to 9-9 because they do have to win 2-0. So we are in crunch time right now. We must lose, but we have some good util in this comp. So what are we going to do? Well, we can't make it too obvious. We're going to satchel in. We're going to plant immediately. We're going to fake. We're going to kill this Cypher. Spike goes down. Now this is where things get absolutely insane. Now they have 3 power.
Chat said, I have no clue what any of this means. This looks like average gameplay to me and I'm bronze. I think that's the point. Is that it does look.
The Breach decided it would be an incredible idea to run out of main right here and just shoot his classic and die. Fair plans, and honestly has a decent idea for what would be called like a zoning ult in pro play. I actually don't feel like Fair's play in this particular scenario is horrible at the pro level. Pulling the ult out to stop the insta flood, giving some time on the post for your teammates to reposition. Also, not a bad ult to shoot. If Practo wasn't full HP, this is a kill. So hits Practo very low. Now you might be wondering, how do they lose this post plant with all of this utility? How do they do it? It's almost like you can't even defuse the spike if these guys just layer their utility properly. So let's see. Here we go. We have the Brim Molly landing. Oh, that'll shave off quite a bit of time. The Boombot comes out. That makes him, aware that no one's coming from this side, so he can watch the other side. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. We have Bob playing deep with tail ult. Okay, we have double ult still. It's kind of crazy. The tap comes in. The tail ult happens. And see Fair now ignoring Arcade. Okay, gets killed in the side of the head. Now they immediately Brim ult without waiting for the next tap. I mean, you can even see where the tail ult is right there. Yeah, if this happened in a vacuum, I would be inclined to believe that it was an accident. And if also it happened to a team that hasn't had players playing challengers for multiple seasons now, I would think, okay, maybe that's an accident. But again, we have to just keep seeing it. Fair dies tower. These three are taking the site. Both of the ults have been wasted. So what are we gonna do? Well, we still have missiles. So holy shit, it's actually great. See what's happening over here. Bob just sitting there, stun out. Somehow misses the stun here. Gets run down, dies. The Brim is literally just sprinting over here, completely out of the play. And that person dies too. 10-8. It felt like an unlosable round, actually. Let's see what happens on the very following round. We did see that Neon had an op. I think we all saw that, right? And an Impro player typically watching people as they run around at the end of the round. So you definitely want to use some util. So
okay.
You have all these util in his comp. So let's see what they do. It's a good time for your IGL to take a nice jump spot. Oh, well, there goes our smokes. We're going to cook up now. You can see they missile out main. It's actually so fun to watch. They Vice ult because, why not? Let's waste all of our ults on rounds that we can't win. So you can see Bonnie running out of the site. They take the site. Zeke taps the spike. Not plants. There's no util blocking by it. I just want people to realize that. One more look. He's going to tap the spike. Not plant safe. Watch Bob's aim. Tap, tap, tap. I'm just going to sit in the open. Tap, tap, tap.
So the team that says blue or like fly Bob, they're basically throwing is what he's saying.
Bomb this a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. C goes back to plant. Gets spam. Now let's watch Fair in this 1-on-2. I'm going to spam a little. Let me just take a little bit more. Run around. Oh, spam that. Oh, okay. Let's just hit him with the unreal A rush. Let's just hit him with it. This is a work of art, quite frankly. So they Teo join main. They see this op. The Neon dodges the stun, gets a shot. Fair misses. They run up. Now, look at all of this util. Does this look like a good idea to go through this? They have no dish control. They literally have nothing. They're Teo missiles in front of them. Bob is between them. They've stimmed. This Brim is about to molly the other side of the smoke. They don't care. Let's watch. You might be wondering, do they actually get out of this? So they stun the cross smokes, and Bob decides, hit a timing. Let's go. Huh.
And they just all die.
Unfucking real. Let's watch Haven, just to see, because we could do a side-by-side with Haven, right? Fair play to Haven against both teams. So let's just see what he did against Burger Boys here first, real quick. What are they cooking? So you have that stall smoke that everyone always throws on A. So this stall smoke actually allows people to flood in and play the wall. And it really opens things up for the defense. That's why I'm
going to skip the evidence and just assume that these are actual throws because listen, chat, I got to skip this section. I just don't know enough about Valorant to understand that. I'm going to be so honest. I feel like my eyes glazed over in the last 5 minutes. Like, this just looks like my gameplay.
I'm sure you could literally just watch all the rounds. I just kind of cherry picked. I mean, honestly, we're
fucking. This one says cheats.
So
okay.
I'm comparing their match histories, and you can see what I've done here is I've highlighted the odds, the map pick. This is Bob, the FlyQuest red player on Blue Otter. This is her match history leading up to the match against us on the 6th. You can actually see she lost in Game Changers to the Shopify Gold team the day before. And the day before that, she played a different match and lost. And the day before that, she played 3 matches and won all 3. Four matches. Then you have this game, the game that had the $30,000 bet on it. And here you have Fair's profile. And you can also see, he played the match against us. And then he played a collegiate LAN that he lost to a team called Cumberland Phoenix. And that was days before our game. And then he played another game the day before. And I'm just thinking in my head, how is this possible? Our team is playing so well in scrims. We're in amazing form. Now let's look at what their Haven looked like against us. 1 week later with 0 practice. Let's just switch our comp though, because, we don't have much time to practice. So let's just switch it up. Fair's going B. Maybe he has PTSD about that cam. So Spaz TPs could be a fake TP, could be a real TP, but also there's only one player that he can account for right now, and it's this Cypher. Technically, the breach could have fault lined from A link right there, or in A site. Now, this is a very important round, by the way. I just want to point that out. They are running a double duelist comp. They're in a 5-on-4. Bob, as the secondary duelist, is opping C long. So there's 3 players left in the center of the map right now. None of them are getting info, and they really don't know where we are right now. So let's take a look at this pathing. So Spaz TP's in, and you can see Fair was already walking into this side. Fair dips his feet in, He's worried about C-Link for a second. Doesn't look left, doesn't look right. Doesn't worry about the deep C-Link off angle that every pro seems like they play, where it's literally in this spot that he's standing in. He's walking in. Oh, he cracked open the round. Time to pop the shield. Time to actually use util now. I mean, these guys are just going to walk around the entire map all series. Spoiler alert. Let's go into round 5. This is only something you would do if, like, you really knew. These guys don't even time well coming out of the smoke. These angles don't even support.
I'm going to skip this whole section. I'm just going to trust Sean Garris. I'm just going to trust. I don't understand this shit. I don't understand Valorant enough to understand this. Let's go to what's next.
So we don't know how Fair is cheating, but these are insane coincidences, right? Right after he threw a game, to say it's not happening with all this evidence would literally be insane. And I'm not going to lie, I do have theories, but I'll leave that for another day. There are multiple teams that I have reason to believe are also match fixing it.
I think that, by the way, I've heard that some people are saying, this is the thing that I heard. Some people are saying that the theories on how some people are cheating in these competitive games is because there's someone at Riot taking bribes. I want to get to Sean Garris. I thought that'd be in this video. I want to watch the video where they talk about the people at Riot who might be taking bribes.
Bray himself has confirmed in DMs that Prosperity and Burger Boys are among the teams that are involved. There are other teams that I believe are working with him too. I think Sad Esports is one of them. I mean, some of the matches that I went over that aren't in this video are crazy. And then you have TSM and Ambrosia on a bet for 134 grand. Everything about that match says something weird is going on, including the fact that there are people in that server that mutually follow back Bray and Cooker. And quite frankly, I think it's unlikely that they're going to be betting, 134 grand on a match that they don't know the outcome of, while betting 30 grand on one they do know the outcome of. Now, I don't know if all of these players are guilty or on the in, but what I do know is that as a team, something weird happened, right? And that
also at this level, I feel like it only takes one player being on the in. Like one player kind of screwing some things up that will flip a game.
is proven by my conversation with someone like Practo or Teague, right? These players are singled out. So it doesn't even need to be a whole team that's involved here. And that's something to keep in mind. These players could be getting paid to intentionally underperform. The odds are Riot. I don't know. They could be getting paid to do otherwise based on fair, right? I don't know. It sucks to even think this. I have these examples where Bray literally.
So what I'm hearing though is that it's not only just that there's people throwing matches, but some people I have heard are suggesting that there's cheating that's going on, and that there might be people on Riot's anti-cheat who are bought in.
I see this, and I've been keeping an eye on this guy. So I even told Kane, right, on the 15th, right here, the day that they said they have to move everything to Telegram. I said you better document it all. There are real world impacts and repercussions though from this match fixing and cheating, and I mean that's ultimately why I'm here. Shopify Rebellion Black or the Split 1 champions. That's the team that I general manage for. We were set to continue that success in Split 2. The points slot is very important. There's 2 slots that move up to this Ascension tournament, and that's the only goal of your challengers, to ascend to VCT. One of the slots is the points total. So by getting cheated out of playoffs, our point total now is completely messed up. We go from point leaders by winning Split 1 to now maybe, I don't even know how it's going to end up after Split 2 playoffs. And it just sucks to be in a situation where you're in a do or die scenario for Split 3. You must win Split 3 with all of this shit also going on. That's the world I'm living in, I guess. The team's future is now jeopardized. Innocent players all across Tier 2 are potentially losing their jobs and livelihood and facing career setbacks. There's not that many jobs to go around.
Damn.
And in addition to this is players that probably aren't deserving look incredible because an entire game might be staged.
Listen, I want to be very clear. As someone who used to work for Riot, I'll just say this. The people that work for Riot are awesome people. There's incredible devs there. Do not think that some of the individuals that work at Riot are not above something. I have heard already crazy stories of weird abuse things going on with League of Legends stuff. I've heard people who were weird on like the player behavior team when it came to banning people and some other weird shit going on. They're people, dude. Like I would not be surprised if there was someone on the inside cooking shit.
So how can you know if a 30 frag performance is even real? None of the reputable organizations, salary-paying organizations, want to be associated with a competitive scene riddled with match fixing and cheating. I mean, I personally received tons of messages, Chinese VCT orgs, asking me if certain players are match fixing. And truthfully, I can't even tell them because I know how many people Bray reached out to. I know that there's no money here. I watch these games and it looks pretty damning, but I'm not going to call out people that I'm not certain of yet. And again, this is why I need the community to help me out here. I know there's so many smart people out there in the community, coaches, analysts, IGLs, that can look through these games and draw awareness to some of the weird stuff that's happening. They can flag some shady behavior in the scene. And I don't know, maybe we can get tips on more ways that this is happening, because it's not just these two. But there's other people also sending messages to these players. And unfortunately, I didn't even find out about those guys until it was too late. Since the news broke, Shuffle.com suspended Tier 2 Valorant betting. But as you can see, it's back. And even when it was suspended, Bray continued contacting players. but deleted everything off of his Twitter in the meantime. So it's very hard for like people to come into this and track what has been going on. Riot knows about these issues, and I've been communicating with them directly, going all the way back to the morning of May 7th. But as a multi-billion-dollar corporation, they probably are going to look in their best interest for their bottom line, and they're going to move a lot slower in their investigation than I would like. Now, crypto and Telegram make this incredibly hard to trace, and that's part of the reason why I think you need to move fast in things like this, because once people know you're onto them, it becomes exponentially harder to catch this. So more than ever, I honestly think we need a replay system so we can catch individual players that are cheating or doing weird things. You have overview shots of scenarios. And thankfully, Anna Donlan announced that's coming out in September. But man, if we had it now, it would be.
Yeah, like I want to be clear. Like at the top, you have like Anna Donlan, and she's great. Like I want to be very clear. The Valorant devs are some of my favorite people. I love the Valorant team at Riot. They're fucking awesome. Anna Donlan's great. I'm sure they are aware of this. And Riot will catch the fucking rat, the mole. There's something just like tickles my brain, like in a way where I'm like, oh, like unsettling. Like I'm like, oh, there's someone on the inside. I have a feeling, or at least close to the inside.
We need better anti-cheat software. Vanguard needs to be updated, and punishments absolutely need to be given to the players that undermine the integrity of this game. There's a lot of suspicious stuff that I haven't been able to include in this video. A lot of stuff has come to me after I sent out that Twitter video, and I'm very thankful for the people in the community that took that risk to send it to me. Even the people that don't want this shared, I have respected those wishes, and there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes regarding that stuff. Thank you so much to everyone that's worked with me, Teague, Practo, and like I said, what you see in this video isn't everything. This is the top of the rabbit hole. We're gonna need to zoom out and see the root cause, but that's for.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more coming out about this, chat. That's spicy. Oh, that's spicy. That's kind of wild, too.